Welcome back, Nick Lenz, Comic Corner, Classics slash Non-Classics. This is episode number 714, Doubleshot number 618. Those of you curious of why it was acting the way it was in the last episode, yeah, my mouse on my computer decided to freeze up for some reason. That's the reason I was rambling for the last 30 seconds or so. I was trying to get the thing to move, it refused to move. So, yeah, that's the reason I was rambling. Okay. Moving on. Alright, so in this episode, we're talking about two X-Men trades. First up, it's XMen Colossus Bloodline, which collects the 5-issue limited series written by David Hayne and art by Jorge Lucas. Simply put, because, well, Colossus came back. One can tell from the way this arc goes, it takes place between the first and second arc of Astonishing X-Men, because Colossus had just recently been resurrected, well, thanks to Ord. So, yeah, he goes to Russia because he finds out his cousin found out some information about his family. Okay, I like the whole, and apparently, here's something quite interesting though. Apparently, Colossus is the great grandson of Gregory Rasputin. Yes, I've heard of this guy, and no, the version that appears in the film Anastasia is, well, nothing like the actual one in real life. Yeah, he was rumored to be an actual mystic, yes, but he wasn't immortal. No, he was not, and he wasn't some undead fiend who apparently haunted the actual Anastasia. Yeah. Also, the main villain of this series is Mr. Sinister. Now, here's kind of the thing that I think is a little weird. Now, Mr. Sinister, when the Colossus sees him, they're like, and basically his cousin's like, does somebody ask the question, like, how do you know him? Yeah, you know him? She doesn't say that at all. Like, Colossus doesn't bother to explain how what his relationship is to Mr. Sinister. Yeah, Mr. Sinister show up in the Colossus miniseries is a little bizarre, especially since these two have barely any connection to each other outside of the fact that he's an enemy of the X-Men. Heck, reading the series, his appearance in here is very surprising. Also, Ileana is apparently at this point supposed to be dead, though she comes back thanks to the new X-Men series. And Mikhail Rasputin is apparently revealed to be the actual Rasputin himself. Gregor Rasputin, the one who descended from. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, I like his character. I like his cousin. An interesting character. Just too bad that Mr. Sinister had to kill her off in the penultimate issue of the series. It was very kind of dumb for him to do. Such an interesting character, and the series ends with him when he goes back home and says, "I want to be alone." Okay. It's like he doesn't. One thing I thought would have been really interesting for Colossus to do at this point is that he should have brought Kitty with him to Russia to meet his cousin. That's what he should have done, but nope, he goes by himself. Yeah, but still a great miniseries. I give this book 9.5 out of 10. It's really good. I love the artwork in here. It's fantastic. It's really good. Here's a sample of the artwork. It is fantastic. As far as I know, this is only my second miniseries reviewed by David Hayne. Yeah, and it says in the back, from the pages of Astonishing X-Men. Yep, there's that. Next up is a very long title, XMen Legion Shadow King Rising. Mm-hmm. This book contains New Mutants number 26, 28, and 44, Uncanny X-Men 253, 255, 278, 280, and of course the issue 670 of X Factor. Almost everything in here is written by Chris Claremont, and I mean almost everything except for the X Factor issues. Yeah, the writing in here for all the issues are done by Chris Claremont, Fabian Nicieza, Peter David, Jim Lee, and others. Artwork by Bill Sienkiewicz, Butch Gucci, Mark Silvestri, who actually is one of the people who actually founded Image, and the person who I think was the one who created Shadowhawk. Yep, who is a Moon Knight / Punisher ripoff. Paul Smith, Andy Kubert, Wes Porcho, Kirk Jovan, Jim Lee, Bill Costa, Mike Collins, Rick Lenardi, and Steve Butler. The front cover here, this is done by Jim Lee and Tom Marsden. This is done by Bill Sienkiewicz. This book not only has regular issues in here, but also has material from other books, like Legion's first appearance. This whole book is about Legion. Yes. Pretty much his appearances from his debut up until the Mirror Saga. So it starts off with his first appearance, and then you have a three-parter, which Bill Sienkiewicz draws, basically kind of an early start for him. Yeah, then after this little three-parter, then it's, let's see if I can get to the particular point. Yeah, after this three-parter, here's Bill Sienkiewicz's really good artwork. I really enjoy this guy's artwork. I mean, his artwork is a bit sketchy. I mean, it looks a bit amateurish to the 80s, but at least he makes characters actually look like actual human beings. Yep. Yeah, then we have apparently disappears for a few years, comes back in issue 44. Yep. And after that one issue, then we have excerpts. And we have Uncanny X-Men 253, 255. We have these three issues. Okay. Yep. And then after these three issues, we have, let's see if I can find the right page here. We have excerpts from various different X-Men comics. We have excerpts from these following issues. Yeah, for the next several pages, we have excerpts from issues 257, 259, 265, 266, 269, 273, 277. Mostly, these are basically pages that feature Legion for the next couple years. And these are the artists of these issues: Jim Lee, Mark Sisti, Bill Justa, Mike Collins, Rick Lenardi. Pretty much everybody who's listed on here with Bob Harris is the writer. Yeah, this is simply put what a good chunk of this book is. Like pages from several of these issues, excerpts. And it's like this for a good chunk of the book. And then pretty much we have the Mirror Saga, which you can kind of say what this saga is. It is several things. 1. The end of Chris Claremont's first era on Uncanny X-Men. 2. The setup for the replacement X Factor. By the way, X Factor disbands the original version, which is made with the original 5 X-Men. And 3. It sets up pretty much it's sort of a backdoor pilot to the X-Men Volume 2 series, which started from 1991 and ended in 2014, continuing for 23 years, publishing 300 issues. So yeah. Now, those of you curious though, why does this trade exist? For a very good reason. The Legion TV show. Yeah, this is to promote the Legion TV show. That's really the whole purpose of this. Yeah, those people like, okay, you wanted his early appearances? This book pretty much has all of his early appearances. Well, up until he starts Age of Apocalypse in 1985. But yeah, this covers roughly I think it's like a 5 or 6 year period. Let's see here. It covers a long period of time. I mean, a long ass period of time. It covers mostly from like I would say about the late 80s to about early 90s. Basically, over the course of I think roughly a 4 or 5 year period of time. Or at least almost a decade worth of time. Though, of course, after the Mirror Saga, he remains in a coma for about 4 years. Wakes up and indirectly starts Age of Apocalypse by killing his own father. But yeah, really good stuff. Give this book a 9.5 out of 10. If you're very curious though about Legion, I highly recommend checking this out. Yeah, because this book ends the Chris Claremont era, the first era of Uncanny X-Men. Some people do remember this. Probably do remember this being the end of his era on Uncanny X-Men. And some people forget his second era and think, oh yeah, he returns in, 2004. But I think, oh yeah, it's been like 13 years since he left the book. No, it only had been 8 years, not 13. Yeah, people forget the fact he actually wrote Then came next book in 1999. Yeah, people completely forget that thing. But his actual last issue is actually 279. So people think it might be 280. It actually is not. 279 is actually his last official issue. If you look it up, it's completely true. Yeah, 280 is done by Jim Lee. It's written and drawn by him. Yeah, and then for the next couple years, for the next year, Jim Lee is one of some people working on the book until they could. He's one of the filler writers until they could find a defender, which was turned out to be Scott Lobdell later. All right, so that's really it for this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode, which will be episode number 615, double show number 619. Okay, but those two out there. Bye.